Number 2, the Shack is not in town, and the number 1 reason Channel 11 should come to SYLMAR High, you don't have to drive all the way to Rancho Cucamonga. And here it is, SYLMAR, folks, hosting Garfield tonight. The Spartans led this contest by a score of 13-7 in the third quarter when Tyrone Crenshaw busted in from a couple of yards out. SYLMAR advances to the City 4A Finals with a 27-7 win over Garfield. In the other City 4A semifinal contest, Carson beat up Van Nuys. In 3A semifinal action, Taft was a winner, and so was San Pedro. But tonight you get the bonus plan. We were also at Bishop Amat and Eisenhower. Rodney Sermons scoots 24 yards for the Lancers as they move on to the CIF Southern Section Finals with a 28-6 win over the Eagles. In the Division II semifinal match,
he's only 41 years old, but suffered 2 crashes in the Indy race last May, breaking his wrist, and decided he had had enough. Okay, it's time now for our weekly high school feature. Saturday night, undefeated SYLMAR faces Carson for the City 4A Championship. Now, SYLMAR's defense is led by brothers who play side-by-side at linebacker. As Artie Ojeda reports, they feel very lucky to be playing at all.
Michael Anderson on the left and his half-brother Anthony Murray are finishing out their high school years at SYLMAR. Each is doing well in the classroom. Each makes a big impact on the Spartan football team. But last school year, when Murray and Anderson went to San Fernando High for its magnet academic program, the two nearly damaged their futures. They were involved in a fight on campus, and Michael was nearly expelled. Eventually, their parents moved both from San Fernando and enrolled them at SYLMAR. This whole mess turned into an emotional dilemma. Suddenly, Michael and Anthony were being asked to move to a rival school. It wasn't an easy switch.
It got to me. I cried a lot. Anything but SYLMAR. That's all it was. Anything with SYLMAR. I thought they were going to, wouldn't like me because how much I didn't like SYLMAR, because I didn't like SYLMAR. And I thought they would hate me, didn't want me in the weight room or nothing.
The burden of change has since been lifted. 2 students who are anti-SYLMAR are now openly welcomed by teammates who give all the important advice.
They helped me with my classes and, tell me what teachers, were nice and which ones weren't so nice. How to act, with counselors and who'll do what for you.
The present team members really accepted both Anthony and Mike, and really took them in and worked hard at accepting it.
Now that they've got to practicing with us, it's like they want to be here more. It's like they're glad they came to this school.
The solution, bringing Murray and Anderson to SYLMAR, has paid off. The school promised a good education and is providing one. And the Spartans have earned their way into the city championship. All things considered, a pretty fortunate ending.
We're undefeated in the season and headed for the city championships. There's not much you can say about that. We're in the city championships. You're doing something right.
At SYLMAR, half the team shaved their heads. Nice look. Carson in white dominated the first half but couldn't get on the scoreboard. Jamie Sanders gets picked off by number 3, Tyrone Crenshaw. Seemed like Tyrone was everywhere. On the very next play, big hole for the running back. It's number 3, Tyrone Crenshaw, 74-yard touchdown. SYLMAR goes up 7-0, and the Spartan defense takes over from there, totally shuts down a much bigger Carson team. SYLMAR wins 17-0. They advance to the CIF Reebok Bowl against Southern Section champ Bishop Amat. That game can be seen live next Friday right here on Channel 13. In the CIF Division II final, Los Alamitos and Esperanza tie and will share the championship.
And the Colts go to the air, but SYLMAR's Tyrone Crenshaw had other ideas. After making the interception, he does just a little bit of celebrating. Well, who can blame him, right? Well, because of Mr. Crenshaw, SYLMAR fans had plenty of reasons to celebrate today. You see, Tyrone also plays running back. And yes, there he goes. And yes, he will out-sprint the Carson defense, and he'll go all the way for the touchdown. SYLMAR. Up next, another
Friday night, it'll be City 4A champion SYLMAR against CIF Division I champ Bishop Amat. Representatives from both teams kicked the week off with a news conference this afternoon. Both coaches admitted it's going to take a few days to gear up again after winning titles last weekend.
Most of our kids, just dream about the city title, getting their ring. It was such an emotional type football game for them that I believe they're going to be very emotional for this team. When they step on that magical grass out there and look on up, believe me, you've got to be brain dead not to want to play that game. I tell you, they're going to be ready to go.
SYLMAR plans to use that old theory, the best defense is a good offense, by grinding away with its pair of 1,000-yard rushers.
Ball control.
Right.
You know,
take the time off the clock.
Take the time off the clock like we did in the second half against Carson. That's been our whole game. You know, we come at you with the big boys and keep on coming at you, and nothing fancy. You know, this is kind of old-fashioned football. We're going to mix it up, or we're going to get the ball to as many people as possible, and hopefully someone will make the big play, and that's what we've been doing all year, and we've been successful at it, and we're going to continue doing that.
Touchdown, Ahmad! The CIF Reebok Bowl, a battle of undefeated champions, the first time the city champions. Sending the best to you for the...
No water, let's go.
Independent Channel 13 brings you an unprecedented television event. Two of the nation's best high school teams clash live for the first time in championship football's final showdown. ACOP's CIF Reebok Bowl, Friday at 7.
People look at like things like this, go, I sit down, I go, I could burn that up.
Blockbuster? Body ache.
Over the Tigers after Pat Dye resigned from the job under pressure of an cover from a rough week. Sunday against the Pacers, an insulting I get Charlotte Hornets coach. Also, and SYLMAR and Bishop Amat will meet on the field to settle the matter. No question what this game means to SYLMAR, a chance for respect, which they don't feel they got even when they beat mighty Carson for the 4A City Championship.
They don't think we can beat them, and they think they can beat us, so we have to go out there and show them wrong.
There are a lot of big, tough-looking guys on this team, but then some that don't quite fit the image.
Okay, you see these two guys walking down the street, one big guy, one little guy, and you try to figure out which one's the football player. Wrong!
Robert Camacho, number 2, 5'4", plays offense, defense, and on the kicking teams.
I like playing defense. I like playing receiver, man. Rather be defense.
Why?
I like to hit people, because if they're going to laugh at me, then at least I got a chance to hit them.
Maybe it's because of his coach, Jeff Engelman, who sees to it that everyone on this team gives his best.
Like last year when I used to sit there and watch him practice, he used to yell and stuff. I was like, golly, hope I have to deal with him. But, you know, he's all right. Before, I never really got yelled at. And even when I don't mess up, I get yelled at. So it just keeps you on your toes.
Make you a better player?
Yeah.
Oh, he's been everything to this program. He's been here for 6 years, and the school was a 2A football team at that time. And in 6 years, he's brought it to 4A City Champs.
My first initial impression on people is they seem to back off and go, oh, my God, this guy's crazy. And they might be right.
In his 6 years, he's won 77% of his games. They're undefeated this year. The kids have lots of fun with him, most of the time.
He failed one time in practice.
He fell in practice?
Oh, yeah.
Did everybody dare laugh, or did everybody...
Yeah, everybody laughed. I laughed and ran away from him.
I'm not the easiest guy to get along with. I want to say I got the greatest kids in the whole city.
And next hour, look at Bishop Amat and their great tradition. That's going to be a fun game. Oh, they've got several halls, and they're going to have high draft choices. Has been a long time. Amat, the Southern Section Division I champion. Well, tonight we take a look at the SYLMAR Spartans, who last week won the City Division 4A championship. Head coach Jeff Engelman says a matchup like this has been a long time coming.
And I think the city CIF, they've needed this. The whole state has needed this type of thing. There's always that argument. Same thing with college football. Who is going to be number one? And they should have probably a bowl system that determines that.
The Spartans are 13-0. They play stingy defense and couple that with a powerful ground game on offense. An attack led by Tyrone Crenshaw, who has rushed for 1,800 yards plus and 22 touchdowns.
I have a lot of cutting ability. Now, I'm not too fast, but I cut, and I can make people miss.
Can he ever? He made plenty of Carson Colts miss on his way to this 75-yard touchdown run in the city title game last week. Now it's on to the CIF Reebok Bowl, a game for all the marbles, a game for the history books.
And perhaps most importantly, for the SYLMAR Spartans, it's a game for pride.
I'm excited, for being the first team, in this Reebok Bowl. I just hope we can make history out of it, win it, and not only for our record to be 14-0, but, prove to everybody that LA City is better than CIF.
You've got Hart up here that's always bragged about them being better than any city team. You've got ALUMNI, which is right down the road. I said, this is a chance to show people that the city is equally as good as the CIF.
Jordan flies in and says, the Spurs and Houston better with a stick. A lot of players are returning home. Today's last bowl, the best in the CIF Southern section against the best of the city section. And as Artie Ojeda reports, it could not have worked out better because it'll be a battle of undefeated teams.
Bishop Amat, CIF Southern Section champs. SYLMAR, city champs. Up to now, the celebrating stopped there. But now the two sectional winners will meet in the first ever CIF Reebok Bowl.
I think maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, the kids are going to say, hey, this is the Super Bowl.
Doggone it, we have a great tradition here, and I think it's somewhat an honor to the kids and to the school to give this team an opportunity to be a part of that history.
Of course, history will tell us how successful this event will be, but you get the feeling right now players at both SYLMAR and Bishop Amat are not exactly overwhelmed by playing in the first ever CIF Reebok Bowl.
It'll be something I can look back and, tell my kids and everything, tell all my relatives that, I played in that game. I was the first one. First team to walk on that field to play in a CIF Reebok Bowl.
The intensity level isn't as high as you would think it should be. But for some reason, when Friday night comes, they do what they got to do.
The players are slowly finding their game faces, and the coaches are talking like coaches.
We can't make errors. Looking at the films, Bishop Vermont eats up on errors.
We're going to have to eliminate the big play, their big play.
Look for a well-balanced attack on both sides of the football from Bishop Amat. Look for a big play offense and tough defense from SYLMAR. Artie Ojeda, News 13.
And a reminder, you can catch all the action from the first ever CIF Reebok Bowl tomorrow night, live, beginning at 7 to a new 3-year deal. Terrific season that and cast history, a 6-fight pat on Saturday for the third straight NCAA.